Welcome back, everyone. This is Wing 7. So for today, I got a little bit of a different video for you. I want to go over sort of city planning or city building. So planning your city, for the final division or for advancing to Division 1, sorry, or the final prestige requirements. But before I get into that, I want to just hop over to the mansion. Oh man, we just must have lost leading. Or yeah, so now we're leading. Well, I think it'll still work. I was betting on hopefully being able to max this out with the help of a little bit of the extra bonus. Maybe I'll hold off on that. We'll check it out. Actually, you know what? Let's just go do it anyways. I'm pretty sure I can still get to the next level. So I want to shout out Arbitrage. I'll link down in the comments below or the description below his channel. But he had an interesting little tidbit, short little video that he posted on how to place an extra of any furniture. Okay, so I just want to quickly show you guys how that works. So I've already went through, placed all the touch grass posters, but there's no more room for any. So what you can do is if you drag one and have it sitting ready to go, then clear the furniture. You're able to then place it on the wall. Let's just place it right here. And this should hopefully be enough to get me to the next level. So if you click check, there we go. So yeah, it's a cool little trick. I'm definitely going to be trying it out in the next competition, especially for the wall hanging furniture that does give you quite a bit of experience. It's definitely worth a shot. You can also do it in the hangar here for the cars. So you'll see I haven't done it with the car here, but you can place two of these, which they need to fix that since it's bugging out a bit, right? And so then when we go and we want to place another one, you just drag it, clear all the furniture, and then just move it into position. Yeah, again, they're getting some clipping issues here, so hopefully they are looking into that. You are still able to click it, so it's not that big of a deal, but yeah, just a cool little tip and trick. Anyways, we'll get into the main video here. So let me just go back to the city. I'm gonna put it on mute so we don't hear the sirens, and Lionhawk's got me under attack right now. Unfortunately, was not able to retaliate it as much as I was hoping, but what can you do? Get that extra little achievement bonus there. Let me just put this on mute. So what I want to talk about today is, so I've been building sort of a calculator here to help you determine what type of city you're building, and with that, what the diamond costs are going to be total versus, how many days. So these are all days here. It would take at different intervals of diamond generation. Right, so the first one I want to show off here is the Cool Cat Lounge City. Right, so this would be the cheapest that you could ever get to P289. Right, that would be all 95 just Cool Cats, and you're going to need 61 billion, almost 62 billion diamonds, and at 3 million diamonds per hour, that is going to be 858 days basically. Right, so quite a long time, even just to build a city of just Cool Cats, right, when you have these lower diamond generation. So with the new lands coming out, hopefully, 3 million is going to be a very low number, and a lot of people will be up there in the 8s, right? But we'll have to see how all these new lands are going to interact with the existing First Frontier ones. Anyway, so as you go up, if you're able to hit 12 million per hour, you're going to be looking at about 215-ish days for you to be able to hit max prestige. All right, so then the next one would be if you had 30 of each commons, right? So 30 diners, 30 gyms, 30 Cool Cats, and then your last 5 are rares. And I went with the den. The den's a little bit cheaper, and I figured it would show the change between, going from a cool cat city to just a diner city, right? Even with a variety here, using those cool cats and those gyms, you're going to be a little bit cheaper than if you were just doing pure diners, right? But and even with these dens, so the quickest you'd be doing this, this is just a little bit over a year for myself, right? I'm sort of in that 8 million per hour. Now, again, you will be getting diamonds from other, activities. If you win the competition, there's diamonds there as well. So that'll all help lower the time. But essentially, this is if you were just to straight play normal mode, right? So, we're looking at almost 2 years here, a little bit over a year. Yeah, that would be a good variety though, right? This is a pretty varied city. You've got 5 rares. I mean, you could sub in a Leo if you have it, but these dens would hopefully be enough to give you income, right? With a cool cat city, you're likely going to be waiting on gold, right? So that would be one of your limiting factors, because the cool cats won't be generating that great of gold for you unless you have like a high quality one, maybe like a quality 5 or 6. It might help a little bit. But then when you look at the diners, right? So it's almost 20 billion more to build a diner city than it is to build a cool cat lounge city. And again, that's going to be, just around that year. This is almost coming up on a year and a quarter. So, at an 8 million diamond gen, whereas it's like a good, 3 years here almost, for if you're at 3 million. And that is just, again, building with pure diners. So the next setup I wanted to look at is you have one uncommon, right? So I went with the LL since it's a little cheaper. And then I went with 3 Leos since they are more expensive than the den, just to sort of balance it out. And then we went with 1 epic, right? So this would definitely guarantee you have enough income to continue upgrading. Like, you won't be waiting much for gold. And then we went with 90 gems, sort of the middle of the road here for your commons. And again, this is actually cheaper, surprisingly, than building a diner city, right? So the cost of those gyms, they save you that little extra that these other 5 businesses are going to eat up. So it does actually save you a little bit of time building with these gyms versus diners, and also being able to support a museum, 3 Leos, and a LL Sports. But again, you see we're looking at 270 days, so that's still quite a bit of playing, right? So most of these aren't like, quick activities. Like, you're not going to get to P289, in the first couple months, unless you're going to spend a lot of money, right? You're going to have to buy businesses off the market that are going to help boost your city. You're going to have to buy diamonds as well to compensate for your diamond generation. And then that'll help you accelerate up the leaderboard. It's taken me over a year and a bit, really, to be working on my city to be able to even get it to where it is now. So speaking of which, so my city is actually based off of one of each of the businesses, right? So I have one of every single business, plus the rest, making up for is the cool cats, diners, and your gyms. So what I wanted to do is just show you the difference between one of each with all the rest being diners versus one of each with the rest being cool cats, right? So again, here you're going to save yourself about, what is that, 18 billion by switching over to cool cats. So that's going to help you significantly, because you can see the difference in time here, right? You're looking at 250 days difference at 3 million per hour, right? That's a pretty significant change. Like, even down here, right, you're looking at a good 90 difference, right? So a 90-day difference from building with your diners versus building with your cool cats. Not as shocking here, right? You're looking at maybe 62, I think is what you're looking at for the difference there. So it's not that terrible, but still, that's 2 months, right? That you shave off by using cool cats, right? And that's the big reason why cool cats are so much more expensive. They save you so much diamonds in the long run. But for me, I'm not really that focused on trying to take my efficiency when it comes to diamond cost. I'm trying to plan out and build a more variety, something that I'll be happy to look at as a city. Right, so we can flip over. I mean, unfortunately, I'm under heavy attack here, but I've got my Apex tower here, and an arcade. I've got the Nut Treehouse skin on my main motors. We've got a Museo de Leon. We've got one of my Leo and Co's. I like this one because it actually is like a diamond, right? A nice white one. And then we got a Felice Cineplex. And on my second land, we've got a bank. Then we've got my power station. I've got my Cyber Bazaar. I've got my LL Sports. I've got two more Leo and Co's. And then I've got two resorts and my Pride Records. Then on my third land, I've got two more resorts. And then the rest are just a mix of, your cool cats, your gyms, and diners, right? So I do have fair amount of cool cats, so it is saving me a little bit. But as you get later on here, we can just flip through. You'll see it slowly becomes a lot more gyms. I've got not too bad. I think there's like 13 diners that I've got spread out throughout my city, which will be good. I can put them closer to like the Cool Cat lounges or something and sort of set it up to be more like a city where it's like, hey, you got your lounge, you got your little pizza shop and whatnot. But yeah, fortunately, I do have a decent amount of cool cats, so they're helping out quite a bit with my diamond cost. But once you get into this page, right, so now we're just into pretty much gyms. I have all these gyms already prepped, ready to help me with prestige requirements. And then what I did is, because I am doing a one of each, but I don't plan to take, these bigger businesses, I'm probably going to bring up my Museo de Leon as well as one of these Leo and Co's and probably a resort. So those will be brought up to the next league. But then, because I'll be leaving a bunch of businesses behind, when I do get into the higher ranks of Division 1, I'm going to need to supplement and bring up a few other businesses. So what I've done is I've sort of laid out the requirement that I'll need, because it's about 13 businesses total, and I'm going to be leaving likely those 13 behind. I'm going to need closer to 108 businesses. So what I've done is I've sort of laid out with the businesses that I have, how many it would take up, just to give you guys an idea of what a full sort of equipped city would look like. And surprisingly, I still do have one full land, right? So this whole piece of this land is not even going to be used. So, there's still even more that I guess I could build, but I doubt that they're ever going to be going over 95 businesses. I think 95 is the sweet spot that they're going to stick with moving forward. And then, yeah, you just need to make sure you have 95 businesses when you get into Division 1 to be able to get to Division 2. Now, with that being said, this chart that I built, this is strictly to get to the max prestige, right? So max P289, right? So that's how to get to, this is the total diamond cost that it would take to be able to bring up these types of cities. So one thing I do suggest, so when you're doing your city building, right, you want a lead business, a secondary business, and a third business is sort of the way I like to run it. Because then if your lead business gets taken down, your two other businesses should be able to make up for it and help you continue to progress, right? If you only have one really good business and you get hit with malware maelstrom, I mean, it's, your lights out, right? You're not going to be generating any gold at all. So that's where I'm, suggesting, at least consider a second business. For me, my lead business would be my Apex. My secondary business now is my arcade. My third and fourth business would be a toss-up between the motors and my bank. My bank isn't as good at performing, I don't think, so that's why I put it on the second land. Plus, also with the treehouse skin, right? You get a good little bonus booster, so putting that on my first land also helps with the gold generation, since I've almost got pretty much a permanent 50% booster on it. we'll just take a look here, right? So you can see on skin bonus, right, 49.93. So that's why it warrants being placed on my first land. Anyways, so that's really all I got for you. So definitely go check out Arbitrage's website or YouTube channel. I'll link it down below. So that was a very helpful tip, and I was able to. I thought I was going to be stuck at 133. Thankfully, with that little trick, I was able to bump up to 134. So very pleased with that. Got myself another blueprint. Definitely keeping them, even though, you know, blueprints, as you can see, are going quite pricey at this point. So I mean, it might not be a bad idea to sell, but I'm actually kind of shocked that they're this expensive nowadays. Gone are the days of the 1 crow voucher or 1 crow blueprints. Even though you had to pay the transaction fee, you know, now with the vouchers, like 7 crow, that's pretty steep, especially when, you know, you're gonna probably pull like a Cool Cats or a Diner out of it. I mean, you might get lucky and get something more expensive. You might pull like a Leo and Co. I know there's a decent, not the best chance that you'll pull an epic, but it does happen, right? I've seen DJ Oracle pull them on his, you know, videos where he does open up blueprints. So if you're interested in checking those out, definitely subscribe to his channel. But there is an opportunity, right? You can pull even a legendary, right? So that might be why the blueprints are going so crazy, you know, with a lot of people just wanting to stack them, maybe hope that they can open up some higher quality businesses from them. Who knows, maybe even people are contemplating doing something like this with the convert, right? I do not suggest this because, I mean, you're probably going to have a better roll opening 50 of the normal blueprints versus, you know, converting it to a gold blueprint and hoping that you're going to get something. I know my luck, I'd probably open it and, you know, get something like a Leo and Co. or a Felice and a Plex. So that's why I would never bother merging and converting normal blueprints. I'd rather just open them. There is still a chance of getting a legendary as well as epics in it. So it's worth it to me just to keep them and open them myself. Anyways, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. So hopefully you enjoy. Yeah, and we'll have to catch you in the next video. Hopefully we get some more news about pricing and the exact date for the land drop, as well as, you know, any of the other information that people are seeking. I doubt they're going to give us too much information on how they're going to work, you know, or even an integration date. That will probably come after the mint, but I mean, one can be hopeful, right? So we'll definitely catch you in the next one and hope you guys have a great weekend.